Good day everyone. In this video, I will be discussing Windows and Unix file systems. Here are the following terms that you need to know for this topic. A file system is an important part of working with computer data, but their effects aren't always obvious. As a result, deciding on a file system is frequently perplexing. When formatting an external device such as a portable hard drive, an SD card, or USB flash drive, you typically have different file system options like FAT32, NTFS, and exFAT, and many more. File systems represents the manner in which data is stored on a data device. They are pieces of software that assist an operating system in organizing data and making better use of available space. File system keeps everything tidy and minimize loss of storage space by logically organizing data. Different operating systems use different file systems. For instance, Windows uses NTFS, while Mac require internal storage device to be formatted in Mac OS Extended File Systems or HFS Plus. We now go to Windows file system. Microsoft Windows family of operating systems use a different or uses a number of different file systems options. These options are determined by the type of media involved and the circumstances in which the media is formatted. The following are common file systems for Windows. We have NTFS, FAT, exFAT, HFS Plus, and EXT. Microsoft Windows uses two major file systems: NTFS, which is the primary format used by most modern versions of Windows operating system by default, and FAT, which was inherited from old DOS and has exalted from the exFAT, which is its later extension. Beginning with Windows Server 2012, Microsoft also introduced refs as a new generation format for server computers. HPFS, developed by Microsoft and IBM, is only found on extremely old machines running Windows NT up to 3.5. So, what is FAT? FAT is short for File Allocation Table. It is a simple file system type that has been around since 1980s. The operating system or OS uses it to manage files on hard drives and other computer systems. It's also commonly found in flash memory or memory drives, flash drives, digital cameras, and portable devices. It is used to store file data and to extend the life of a hard drive. There are three versions of FAT: the FAT12, FAT16, and the FAT32. FAT was created to work with hard drives and subdirectories. The earlier FAT12 used 12-bit cluster addresses with up to 4078 clusters. UNIX supported up to 4084 clusters. The more efficient FAT16 increased to a 16-bit cluster address, allowing up to 65,517 clusters per volume, 512 bytes clusters with 32 MB of space, and a larger file system with 4 sectors. It was 2048 bytes. FAT32, on the other hand, was introduced by Microsoft in 1997. This FAT file system increased size limits and made DOS real mode code capable of handling the format. FAT32 has a 32-bit cluster address, with remaining 28 bits used to store the cluster number for up to 268 million clusters. A partition is the highest level division of a file system. The partition is divided into volumes, which are also known as logical drives. Each logical drive is labeled with a letter such as drive C, D, or E. The next Windows file system is the NTFS, short for New Technology File System. The NTFS is a modern, well-formed file system that is widely used by Windows Vista 7, 8, and Windows 10. It has a feature-rich yet simple organization that enables it to be used in large volumes. It is strongly advised that NTFS be used on all media that will primarily be used with modern Windows systems. It should not be used for device that must be written to by Mac OS X systems or on media used in devices that are not NTFS compatible. Other Windows file systems are the exFAT or the Extended File Allocation Table. File system is a this is a file system, okay, for Windows files, which works, okay, with Windows and Mac OS 10.6 plus. It is also compatible with a wide range of media devices, including televisions and portable players. The next is the HFS Plus or the Hierarchical File System. This is a file system developed by Apple for Mac OS X, also known as Mac OS Extended, and the EXT or Extended File System, which was designed to work in conjunction with the Linux kernel. The most recent version of EXT is the EXT4. There are advantages and disadvantages for each file system. The file system selected will specify how the data is saved and how it will be stored on the hard disk drive. Here are some facts that can help in selecting what type of file system to use in Windows operating system. In today's computers running Windows OS, FAT32 is one of the most common file system used aside from the NTFS. Now, each file system in Windows has its differences. Here are a side-by-side comparison on the differences between FAT32, to be specific, and the NTFS, which can also help you decide which file system you need to use when running Windows. We now go to Windows file system conversion. As discussed recently, two of the most common types used as file system in Windows is the FAT32 and NTFS. FAT32 is widely used in a variety of devices, including hard drives, DVD players, game consoles, and so on. It also works with the obsolete Windows XP, okay, the Linux, the Mac, Android, and the Windows Phone. You can convert FAT32 to NTFS file system by using two of the following options. But before you start the process, ensure that you have a few gigs of free space, as the conversion does require some space. Now, to convert drives from FAT to NTFS, Just simply follow the given steps. So this method has few procedures and is simple to master. However, all data on the partition will be formatted if you follow these procedures. You can back up the partition before converting it, but it will take a long time. Now, to convert FAT32 to NTFS and keep data, simply follow the steps shown. The next topic is the Unix file systems or file system. The Unix file system organizes all of its files into a multi-level hierarchy known as a directory tree. A family tree is an example of a hierarchical structure that represents the organization of the Unix file system. The Unix file system can also be viewed as an inverted tree or a plant root system. The Unix file system is a method for logically organizing and storing large amounts of data in order to make the file or the system easier to manage. Informally, a file is defined as a collection, typically related data, that can be viewed logically as a stream of bytes or characters. In the Linux file system, the smallest unit of storage is the file. The illustration below is an example of a Unix hierarchical file structure. Unix file types. In a Unix system, everything is treated as a file from the user's perspective. Printers and disk drives are examples of such devices. All files in the Unix file system can be categorized into four types: the ordinary files, directory files, special files, and pipes. Ordinary files are used to save information such as text you've written or an image you've drawn. An ordinary file or files are used to organize file groups. Ordinary files, special files, and other directories may be present. Special files are real physical devices, such as a printer, tape drive, or terminal. It is used to represent an input or output operations. Pipes is similar to a temporary file that exists only to hold data from one command until it is read by another. Now, there are other file types in Unix, such as sockets and symbol link, as defined on the terms given above. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.